TSUKIHINA Dream Realm Haikyuu. I walked and stood there alone. The meadow was vast and was overflowing with green grass and trees of different varieties. Flowers were in bloom in hues of purple and blue. Round mushrooms would be sprouting from different locations, mostly near the huge trunks of the trees on the far ends of the meadow. Butterflies were roaming the vastness, looking for the perfect flower they can set upon for the night. There were lamps hanging from the trees, aiding the stars and the moon in keeping the meadow lit despite the depth of the night. The sky may be dark, but there were constellations scattered and the moon was most bright. As I stared on the night sky, appreciating the beauty of the moon, a dark figure started falling from the heavens. It was falling fast, but I did not dare move from where I was. Black, angel-like wings hovered above and landed right in front of me. The black wings were huge as they spread upon landing and were glistening beautifully under the moonlight. The figure was wearing a dark robe that covered almost the entire body, the hood still covering most of the being's face. "Show me your face, Shoyo." I heard a chuckle from inside the robe. "Did you miss me, K?" The wings folded as Shoyo pulled the robe's hood down, revealing his innocent features. The glistening of his black wings were nothing as compared to the luminescence radiating from his innocent face. His tangerine hair ruffled gently with the blowing of the wind. His eyes were mainly hazel brown in color, but would show a hint of gold and green whenever the light from the tree lamps would pass by them. His nose was perfect. His lips was sporting a very minimal smirk, one you wouldn't even notice if you haven't seen his natural smile. Only his hands and feet were visible due to the length of his robe, but the skin that shows resembles that of ivory. A tattoo in the shape of a waning crescent moon is fixed on the back of his right hand. Seeing that again, reminded me of how I would love to have one for myself when I'm old enough. I have yet to decide on the design and where I'll be placing my own tattoo. But I sure will have one. Shoyo strode around where I stood, eyes fixed on me. "You've seen me multiple times before, Shoyo. Quit with the formalities," I said as he got back in front of me. Shoyo reached out his tattooed hand and left it on Kei's cheek, a genuine smile now on his face. "I'm sorry, Kei, I just had to make sure." His touch on my skin was cold. So cold that it sent shivers throughout my body. But the coldness changed into warmth as it reached my heart. I've always been intrigued with Shoyo's touch. So terrifying, yet feels like home. Why do you have to? Magic is scary, Kei. You can never be sure of anything. Shoyo pulled his hand away from my face, making me want to grab his hand and put it back. But I'd rather not. I have so much respect for Shoyo. Even the faintest amount of disrespect would not be tolerable in my eyes. He walked a few steps towards one of the trees in the meadow before he lowered down to sit under it. His wings folded even more until it finally disappeared. Shoyo gestured for me to sit beside him. I followed. He focused his attention to a blue and black winged butterfly that rested on a finger on his left hand as I neared him. He lifted his tattooed hand and moved a finger around the butterfly before he released it. Silver sparkles followed to wherever it flew. "You're late tonight, Kei." Shoyo did not look at me. His gaze was still on the butterfly he just released. I, on the other hand, could not take my eyes off him. I had to do chores. "Sorry." Shoyo just nodded and shifted his head to face me. "What's the difference between the dream realm and the human world, Kei?" His eyes were eager to know the answer. "It's much more serene here. That's why I keep coming back." "I see. And you're here." "I always come back to see you, Shoyo." "Are you sure about that, Kei?" "Definitely. If I could be in the human world. Would you want that?" My brain started overthinking. Shoyo is a dream realm fairy. Would it be possible for him to leave this place and be with me in the human world? I would love it if you would be in both worlds. Shoyo's happy mood fainted a bit, I notice. He looked back to the butterfly. The silver sparkles from it were now all over the meadow. "I'm afraid that won't be possible, Kei." There was silence before my mind thought of something. "It's not possible for you to be in both worlds, you say?" Shoyo hummed, not leaving sight of the butterfly from afar. "But can you be in the human world, instead of being here?" Shoyo's smirk returned. "I'm not saying it can't be done. There is a possibility, but the chances are very minimal. Really? Would you do it? Trade all of this for my world? His face turned to mine again. Would you want that, Kay? Would you rather have me in your own world than here? I nodded with all the energy that I have. But if it's not possible, I'd return here every night. All that matters is that I have you in my world or yours. I'd love that, Kay. Awkward silence came after that topic. Then my head just popped out a question I've always wanted to ask him. May I kiss you? Shoyo's head tilted, not familiar with the term. Just say yes. I trust you, Kay. So, yes. I leaned closer to Shoyo slowly so as not to make him panic. Does he even know how to panic? I'm not sure. He always seemed so calm. Close your eyes. My lips reached Shoyo's. It was even softer than I've imagined. I love you, Shoyo, I said in between my kisses. Shoyo was answering my kiss back when he said, I've always loved you, Kay. My journey to the dream realm ended abruptly by the sound of my alarm. Really? You really had to spoil that part of my dream, huh? I snoozed my alarm and tried to go back to the dream realm, but my phone suddenly rang. I answered the call without looking on my phone caller ID. What? I didn't realize how irritated my voice sounded. You're still sleeping, Suki. Hurry up. I'll be in your house in 10 minutes. We can't be late on the first day of school. Whatever, Tadashi. Fine, I'll get ready. I hung up, still frustrated on how my dream was cut short. That has to have a repeat tonight. I smirked before I headed to the bathroom to get ready. Tadashi and I were now in the volleyball gym. First days were usually spent looking for clubs you want to be part of in Karasuno High. It wasn't difficult for me to choose. I've always liked playing the sport. But there's only a few hours left before the school day ends. I'm more excited to get back to sleep than play volleyball right now. That kiss was so pure, so innocent. Hey Suki, what's up with you? I was spacing out, Tadashi noticed. There's another first year who just came in after the Kijiyama guy. Do you really think I would care, Tadashi? Come in, Suki. I placed my headphones on and sat back comfortably with eyes closed. I could hear Tadashi and another person talking to each other. That voice seems really familiar. Where have I heard it before? I opened my eyes in anxiety and pulled my headphones off. His back was facing me. He was facing Tadashi. Oh, good. He's back to reality. That guy behind you is Suki. I mean Tsukishima. He prefers to be called Tsukishima. I get to call him Suki though. 'Cause he can't make me stop. Tadashi laughed at his own words, I noticed. He pointed to the person he was talking to, but now talking to me. This is Hinata. He's the first year I told you about earlier. I'm not sure if the world just moved in slow motion, or if it was just my heart wanting to savor every second as the person turned around to face me. His hair, his eyes, though the green and gold were not there. His nose, his lips, his smile. Shoyo. His smile turned into that faint smirk. Kay, he knew my name. Is it really him? But how? You know each other. I didn't want to be rude with my best friend, but I don't know how to answer him yet. Are you kidding me? I stood from my seat and fast walked to get near Shoyo. He extended his hand for a handshake, which I took with excitement. His hand was warm, not like how I felt it in the dream realm. But with all these built-up emotions inside of me, I pulled Shoyo's hand and his entire body for a hug. Are you really my Shoyo? I heard Shoyo's chuckle once again. Did you miss me, Kay? Those words made me hold him tighter than I'd expected. But how? I felt him rub my back, which made my tense body ease up. I heard him whisper, do you not know what I am, Kay? I'll tell you tonight, so be sure you're in my world for a bit longer than the other nights. I nodded before I let him go from the hug. You're freaking Hinata out, Suki. What's gotten into you? My eyes kept following Shoyo while Tadashi tried to apologize to him for my behavior. Shoyo would glance my way once in a while, with a smile. Did he really choose my world over his? No, wait. He wanted me in the dream realm tonight. He can be in both worlds. I thought that wasn't possible. I tried to calm myself down. Tried to stop my heart from racing. Shoyo is here, in my world, when I'm awake. And I'll be in his world tonight. I looked at the gym clock. Right now, I'm not sure if I'm excited or hesitant for school to end today. I glanced back at Shoyo, who also stole a glance at me. I hope he can read my lips from a distance. I love you, Shoyo. He probably did because I read his lips say, I love you more, K.